Welcome back to another episode of Let's Finally Grow. I'm your host, Ariana, for long. In case you want to call me, my full name, you can, and that's what it is. You can call me whatever, not whatever. You can call me Ari, you can call me Ariana. You can ask me questions. You can ask me all the fucking questions. What do you want to know? With that being said, I would prefer that you ask me questions that genuinely you will be able to know a piece about me from. I don't want you to ask me surface level questions. And today we're going to talk about this deep fear I have inside of me that we're not asking people the right questions to get to know them or to even have like a cool ass conversation that you can learn a little bit from, which is pretty ironic because the questions we ask people are what we base our opinions and our judgments off of. Like, you can judge someone all you want, and you're probably going to, but you never know what someone has been through to be the way that they are. There are so many people that are so confident in their assumptions of others that they barely even know. And I see a common theme of people judging before they're actually curious to find out. And then that's a fucked cycle because you think you already know. You already have your judgment. You think you know, and now you would have to confront the ego, which is never pretty or fun, to then be curious to the fact that you could not know. The generic questions that I get asked and I hear people are like, where did you go to school? Where did you grow up? What do you do for work? And then those questions are what define a person. Now, like, they're not bad questions. Like, it's cool to find out where someone grew up, hear more about the area. Maybe you're familiar with the area. Maybe you grew up there too, and now you have something in common. Same with school. Find out someone's background, where they got their education, and what they do for work. Like, they're not bad questions to ask. They just don't tell you about someone's life, like, at all. It paints a picture and an image for you to go down and, make assumptions about, like, but it doesn't tell you about who they are. Like, I want to actually get to know people so that I am curious, I am respecting them, I am in all of them. I feel like I understand a little bit of them versus figure out where their rank is at in society. Like, I want to know, do you fucking regulate your nervous system? That's a good current day question about where they're at now. Maybe I ask them if they have any tips of how they do it. Like, learn a thing or two. What challenges keep repeating in someone's life? Ask them that. Maybe you can relate to it. Maybe just asking them allows them to fucking think about it and maybe want to not have the repetitiveness anymore or not feel alone. What are your parents like? Not everyone might want to answer that one, but you can learn more about someone figuring out what their parents were like, how they describe it, than where they went to college. What have you attempted recently but failed at or succeeded at? Like, I don't want to know your hobbies. Like, it's not a bad question. Maybe I do want to know your hobbies, but to genuinely get to understand someone, them riding a bike isn't going to tell me enough info. Like, I don't know someone because that's their hobby. Like, I know that they ride bikes, but I don't know their capacity to, like, go after something they want. And I feel like if we ask people these questions, it's encouraging. Like, oh, someone might say, I haven't tried at fucking anything recently, but now that you asked me that, what can I go and give a try? Do you see where I'm going with this? Like, if you ask someone where they went to college, that's not going to, like, they're not going to sit there and think, like, oh, I want to go and erase where I went. And I want to go somewhere but I mean, maybe people do think, like, oh, I need to go to this school to look this way, whatever. But that still doesn't tell anything, doesn't tell enough about a person. And honestly, I am curious to why we're afraid to ask these deeper questions. Like, yeah, it exposes more truth, but why do we want to live in fake bullshit reality? I want the truth. I want to know more. I don't want everything to be surface level. That just doesn't do enough for me. And what do we actually want to understand about someone's character? Like, I don't want to relate another person's character to a level or a status that's not appealing for me. I think that people that are always chasing their status and the way they look aren't living fully. Like, where's your humility? I'm wearing mine on my fucking sleeve. I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve, my humility on my sleeve. Where's yours? I wear it on my sleeve because it feels better, not because I think it's a flex. It's actually really embarrassing a lot of the time, but it feels better than trying to hide it and pretend like I'm something that I'm not. And as humans fucking love connection. That's what we live for. Like, we love connecting with others, and think of all the connection that's lost by not asking questions to get to know someone more, not making people feel seen, not understanding and judging instead. This is where it gets kind of tricky too, because someone who didn't go to college may be more successful from having to forge their own path. So asking someone, oh, where did you go to school? And they say, I didn't. You're going to think, oh, unless they have like a multi-million-dollar company, then you're going to be like, they are one of the lucky ones. No, if we believed in people more and we didn't judge people based off the status quo, people would feel more capable. And someone who has had everything handed to them in life, like on paper, may have more empathy. Like, not, money doesn't solve every problem, believe it or not. Like, money does not solve every single problem in this world. So someone who has everything handed to them may have actually not, in different ways. We have this belief system where we assume like success is either something you're really lucky to have built or you were born into it. And that's where your acceptance is truly categorized. Like, that's what determines whether you're smart or not. When success looks different to fucking everyone. We all want different things and we all have our own different paths of how we get there. Fuck the status. Fuck the boxes that we keep people in, that we put people in. Like, fuck it. We equate struggle with depth and privilege with shallowness. And I just don't think that that's all there is to life. I think that there's a lot fucking more. I think that there's individual humans. And if something someone has makes you feel less than, maybe you should try to go after it. And if something someone doesn't have makes you feel less of them, what are you hiding in your life? What are you avoiding? And if we ask these questions, we'll get down to the motherfucking bottom of it. Crazy how that works. So many people want to date someone who has wealth, someone who has a lot of money. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. But I think that there's something wrong with putting someone on a pedestal above you and just wanting the money. Like, that's where I see a little bit of issues. Not every wealthy person has clean money, is a good person, has morals. Like, just because someone has money does not mean that they're better than you. It also doesn't mean that they're giving. Like, you may marry someone who has a lot of money and they may not be the giving type. They may be actually the controlling type, because that's usually how it works. If someone isn't giving, they're very controlling. And do you want to just have the status of being wealthy to be controlled? Like, just because someone has a lot of money, maybe they went to Harvard, which is a huge fucking accomplishment. I'm not downplaying that. But just because they have that doesn't mean that they're better than you, and that automatically that's someone like you should go for. Unless you're shallow too, then fucking go for it. Have fun. You're a part of the problem. No, I'm kidding. You two deserve each other. But in all seriousness, we need to take the rose-colored glasses off more and actually get to know who someone is. I think it can go one or two ways. If someone has a lot of money, you can think they're a bad person because that's what you've been taught your whole life, or you can think that they're better than you. Like, how about figure out who they are? I've actually been learning a lot about the energy of money, and money is something that is so mental. Like, yes, you can learn logically to gain more money, but you can also learn spiritually how to make more money. And you can also do the combination of the two. Like, there are ways to be a giving person and just keep giving more money, and then you keep receiving more money. And I'm not as equipped to like talk about all of this as other people are, but I'm learning it and it exists. And I think that it really does solve the thought process of every single rich person having all this money and hoarding it. I'm not saying that there aren't rich people that do that. There are definitely rich people that hoard their money and don't give to anyone, and like, they exist, but it's not every wealthy person. Like, there are people that have just given so much and have received so much more in return because how much they just keep giving. Like, it fucking exists. And that's why I think it's important to not categorize. And also, if you're categorizing wealthy people are bad, then you're putting yourself in the poverty section. You're putting yourself in the poverty section and you're saying, I'm going to be a good person and I'm going to be poor, so I'm never going to be wealthy. Like, that's just literally the category you're placing yourself in life. Do you want to do that? No, probably not. Fuck the ego. Throw that ego away and fix this. I think something that should not be overlooked too is that there's a journey of how someone becomes wealthy. Like, maybe some people are born into it, then they have their own challenges to figure out. Like, there's no perfect life, but I want to know about the fucking journey. Like, what did it take to get there? Did you put in the fucking work, believe in yourself, take risks in your life that like got you to where you are? Or did you fuck people over? Did you fuck a lot of people over to make money? Because if you fuck someone over, or a lot of people over to make money, I don't want to be associated with that kind of person. There's just so many different levels to this shit. And we've got to learn and we've got to find out. But also, while we're at it, let's learn to make some money of our own too, you know? Like, but if we ask these questions of how someone got there, those are questions that can make you feel capable. Like, if someone says, I had no support and I just fucking listened to my intuition, I did it, and I got there. It's never that easy. But like, you know, I'm summarizing it. You may think, oh, I'm capable of doing that too, instead of just thinking like, oh, you didn't go to college and now you're rich. Like, oh, you're one of the lucky ones. Or you went to college. Like, whichever way it's going, ask how people fucking got there. Ask about people's story. Ask about what people have struggled with. Ask about what people, like, just ask the questions about the fucking people. And then you know what you get in return? You feel more capable. Because if you're asking what college you went to, where did you grow up? Like, what do you do for work? You think, oh, I wish I would have had that journey. I wish I would have grew up there. I wish I was able to go to that school. I wish I was able to do that for work. Ask. Ask how they fucking got there. Also, on the topic of money, I think that the way that someone's relationship is with money says a lot about who they are as a person. If someone puts money before everyone in this world, they're not going to give a fuck about you. If someone doesn't believe they're capable of making money, they're not going to believe that you're capable. Like, asking these questions and getting to know people, you're just going to figure out a lot more. And then I doubt you're going to go to like one of your friends and be like, that person doesn't think they're capable of making money. It's just going to be, you were curious, you figured it out, you wish the best for them maybe. I don't know. You focus on yourself. Like, instead of, I don't know, everything else that we fucking do. Instead of thinking like, oh my God, they're cheating on their wife and like blah, blah, blah. Like, no shit. They were fucking people over in their business for money. Like, that's what they're going to be doing. And if you understand that, you get that. And if you ask questions like about people's past, about people's patterns they can't break, you're going to understand why they're doing the things that they do. And it's not going to be as juicy and mysterious. It's going to be like, well, that's fucking why. I think I'm onto something here. I think it's very important that we don't confuse symbols with substance. And we do a lot of that. So how do we rewrite it? I don't know. Can someone answer that question for me, please? Let me know. I think it's very important to learn the layers of someone's story for me personally, because then I'm able to understand where I stand in their life, where they're going to stand in my life, what to expect from them, what to protect myself from, what they can handle, how they move through life, all the things that we need to prepare ourselves for to avoid certain situations. For myself personally, I wish that people would understand that you don't understand what people have been through and try to be more curious about people's stories and understand that like we're all human instead of just having characters that you judge. I think I used to see the fulfillment in that, but like I just don't anymore. I think I'd rather just get to know people, have empathy for people, try to understand them. There's still a lot of joy in that. And to be honest, you never really know someone's character until you see how they handle conflict, how they handle pressure. Until then, it's what they want you to see. When we ask people about their obstacles versus their achievements, we understand their depth, them being human. We might have a little soft spot for them now. What the fuck am I saying? But seriously, it humanizes instead of stereotypes. I want to really start asking people like, how do you regulate your nervous system? Because one, if they don't, the thought's going to cross their mind. And the more people we can have regulate their nervous system, the fucking better. And if they do, and they have a way that I don't know how to yet, I want to learn it. I also will feel safer with that person. Because if someone can't handle obstacles and conflicts, they're going to be the people that blame everyone else in their life, shame other people, avoid. And those are people that we get into very messy situations with. We wind up having regret. Like, they may have went to fucking Harvard, but if they don't know how to regulate their nervous system, you're all going to be fucked. They may be a doctor, and if they don't know how to regulate their nervous system, that's not the doctor you want to go to. Can you imagine calling to make a doctor's appointment and you're like, hey, quick question. How does the doctor regulate his or her nervous system? Cool, great, pencil me in. Or, all right, I'll call you back. Never call them back, ever. the doctor doesn't know how to fucking regulate? These are important questions. And let me tell you, regulating your nervous system is not for the weak. I do the best I can. I think working out is a great way to process your emotions, pausing before reacting. I meditate, I journal, I do EFT tapping. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be okay. No, I'm kidding. I do the tapping, but that's not what I say. And I mean, it's just important. I think that there were so many years I didn't do it. So there was a lot of time making up for that. But on the right path, there's a good direction. And I think that's all that matters. Direction in life. It's so important to understand what trauma you're working with another person. You're going to figure out why they're sensitive towards situations instead of judging them. This is where the part where you really never know what someone has been through comes in. Trauma is no joke. I have baggage. I have trauma. We all do. And there are certain situations where I do feel less capable to handle them, or I am more reactive to handle them. And, doing the best I can to regulate the nervous system, but these things still happen in life. And I think that a lot of times when conflict arises, it's lack of understanding another person. And if you do understand another person and you want to, go and make sure that conflict happens, go fug yourself. I don't think you'd be listening to my podcast. I don't think you're my target audience, but those people do exist. And, they're not really good to surround yourself near. But there are a lot of disagreements, arguments, conflicts that are pure ignorance. Like, you just don't know what someone's been through. And now, you're both just going at each other and you've missed the whole plot and point of what's actually going on in this story. And then you have to go and regulate your nervous system and not even know what you're regulating it from. I know I am a part of that problem. I think we all are as humans, but if we can ask the questions of what people have been through, the trauma, what does that look like? You can understand someone. And when someone acts a little bit more defensive, sensitive, or gets more angry towards a situation, you get that it hit a nerve. I think in those situations, before being quick to judge, something that I'm pretty sure would work for me. I'm pretty sure depending on the scenario. No, I'm pretty sure would be help me understand why you're feeling this way. Because if you ask someone that, you're showing that you care. It kind of takes you out of the situation of they don't understand me. It's help me understand. You feel misunderstood. You feel triggered. Help me understand that. I don't have all the answers. I don't have any of the answers. I'm trying to ask the questions to get the answers and share my opinions, but I think that's a pretty good one. And I think based off of stereotyping, there are a lot of traumas that people assume others have, like capacity, poverty, lack, based off of where you went in your life, where you're from, what you do for work. There's a lot of assumptions made surrounding that. And they're not always relevant. Also, no one's really chose their path in life. We don't get to choose what we're born into, but we do get to choose what we do with it. And these are the questions we get to ask people, what have you done with what you were given in life? Nothing. Cool. Same. No. Maybe we should do something now that we're talking about it. How someone handles a falling out is so telling. There was definitely a point in my life where I wasn't handling my fallouts, right? Falling out with others, whatever. But how they handle that is so telling, because that is going to be how your future is going to go. Is it messy? Do they talk shit about the person? Do they completely blame someone else? Do they try to ruin someone's character? I guess that's the same as talking shit, but like you will want to stay far away from someone in that situation. I think people's childhood definitely is what defines them the most, but that can also be a triggering topic. Ask someone about a hard situation, how they handled it. Ask someone maybe about their childhood. That might be a sensitive one. You might not want to do it. They might not have healed from it. They might be triggering. I don't know. But just ask fucking questions that make you think, that make other people think, that help you genuinely get to know someone more versus the surface level shit. We gotta advance. We gotta do better. We gotta finally grow. Let's finally grow. Let's fucking grow. Let's finally grow. Let's do it. The moral of this story is genuinely trying to get to know people better, get to know ourselves better, expand our horizon. Less judgment, less categorizing, putting people in boxes. More excitement, more knowledge. I'm tapping out though. We really went over a lot. And let me know. Ask me whatever fucking questions you want. Ask me whatever. I'll answer it. Maybe what you want to hear may not be, but I'll answer it. So if I'm going to talk about it, I have to be about it. And that's where my podcast gets me in trouble. But we're done. We're done for the day. You're done for the day. You can take the rest of the day off. You have my permission and enjoy it. Okay. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Let's go.